Hey gang, welcome back. In this session, we're going to be talking about melancholy in control. Our last one was melancholy in inclusion. Today, we're talking about melancholy in control. Once again, I'm here with my wife, Dr. Amy. Dr. Amy, tell us about melancholy in control. What does that mean?
So, in a nutshell, their motto is, I'll take care of me, you take care of you, and we'll be just fine.
Okay.
So, melancholies, they express very little control over the lives of other people, and they want basically no control over them. They're very independent.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, melancholies can be excellent leaders. They have the capabilities of running their own companies and really being leaders in the community. However, they prefer to lead in areas that are familiar with them.
Okay.
So, melancholy has a very high need for perfectionism. They don't want to look like a fool. They don't want to make mistakes. So, they will run through everything in their head, front, back, sideways, upside down, before they will even say a word.
How do you lead if you don't want to control others? What's the best way for them to do that?
Well, I think that they delegate and they teach. They're very good teachers. So they've got the ability to understand the entire system, how this thing has to run. They will go and they will teach somebody else how to do their job. And since they are very dependable, they want other people to be dependable too.
Right. And like we talked about last time, melancholies are very loyal.
Yes.
Right. And so they will stick with their teams, stick with their companies.
Yep.
Got it.
So they will teach and then let somebody go off and lead. So melancholies in control sometimes are seen as procrastinators, and that is because they are trying to figure it out in their head.
Right.
Before they move to step A, they need to figure out A through Z.
Got it.
The funny thing is that probably no other temperament is more able to figure out things on the fly.
Oh, really?
They are very good problem solvers, and they don't need to be afraid of the unknown, but they are.
All right.
And that's something that they can overcome with time, just knowing that they always figure things out and they don't need to be so nervous.
So if I am a melancholy in control and I am, mid-level management, taking small chunks at a time is probably a great way of managing through a big project?
Yes, absolutely. So the melancholies are very compartmentalized. They will be able to break down the project, very systematically be able to figure it out.
Great.
Sometimes they are seen as a rebel, and that is because they're not afraid to think outside the box. They might have a new idea or something that is not your typical. And they're not afraid to express that. So
if I'm a boss and I have a melancholy working for me and they're always coming up with new ideas, it's not that they're trying to push me out.
Right.
They're just legitimately coming up with new ideas.
Yeah. And I would listen to that melancholy because a lot of times they're right. So listen to them and see what they have to say. It might be beneficial. But one of the things with the melancholy is that it's really important for them to appear competent.
Okay.
They are very sensitive if somebody points out a mistake.
Oh, wow. So how do I approach a melancholy when I need to correct them?
I think always preface it by a compliment.
Okay.
Hey, I think that you're doing this really, really well. I just want to talk about this and...
Right. Help me understand what you were thinking.
Yes.
Instead of saying...
You did that wrong.
You did that wrong, right. But we would approach most people like that. But the melancholy tends to be more sensitive in that area.
Absolutely.
Got it.
So they have very good leadership skills. They really adhere to most of the rules unless they think that there is a better way, but they're also very diplomatic about it. They don't want control over somebody else. So let's say you're married to a melancholy.
Okay.
And the melancholy is going to let you run, like you take care of you.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You can decide what car you want to buy. I'm going to decide what kind of car I want to buy. Don't get that reversed.
And don't ask me for help? If I'm the melancholy?
No, No, the melancholy can contribute, but they're not going to let their spouse tell them,
Okay.
you're going to drive this car.
Okay, got it. If I'm married to a melancholy, what other things should I be concerned about when it comes to melancholy in control?
I think letting them have enough control. So melancholies get angry when their needs are not met.
Okay.
So anger is always from fear or pain, and melancholies will express anger because they're afraid that somebody else is going to take advantage of them.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Anything else I need to be concerned about?
No, the melancholy, I think if you're melancholy in control, just learn how to trust your instincts. Not be afraid to think on the fly. There are two temperaments that really have a high degree of independence and make good leaders.
Okay.
The melancholy and the choleric. So the melancholy will take on a leadership role if they're familiar in that area.
Okay.
If somebody else says, you know what, I think I know this a little bit better, do you mind if I lead? The melancholy is going to say, sure, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, great.
And they will support the other person. They'll be able to work under them. The choleric, on the other hand, is always going to be in control, whether they know what they're talking about or not. So the melancholy can lead. I would say they don't usually want to lead,
Okay.
but they will.
Yeah. So that's the melancholy in control. Thank you, Dr. Amy, and we'll see you next time for melancholy in affection. Thank you.